Boys and girls, today's project is going to start off with you drawing a tree. Right here, Miss Nicole is drawing her horizon line, 2 lines for the trunk of her tree, and then she's beginning to draw the base of her tree. Once she's done that, she's going to add Christmas decorations, garland, ornaments, whatever kind of stuff you put on your tree that you would enjoy adding to your tree here. And then you are going to begin coloring it in. Now, coloring this week is so important because you're going to be using an oil pastel and laying down a thick layer of color. Miss Nicole is a genius because she's sitting here going around each of the lines that she drew because she knows that with oil pastel it's fun to blend colors together. So she started off with some light green, but she's left plenty of room for her to be able to weasel in some dark green in between there so that it kind of does this blendy thing of going from light green to dark green. When she's finished with that, then she's going to do her ornaments. She can color in her star. She'll do her garland. And then she's got to start in, just when her hand is starting to kill her, she's got to start in on doing her whole background. Now, even Miss Nicole will say she had to stop every once in a while and just rest her hand because she was working really hard to fill in this whole thing. You'll notice that right now she's using all of a dark blue color, but you can use a sunset color or, where you'd go from pinks to purples or things like that. You can have any color Christmas tree. You can have any color sky that you like. It's completely up to you. The only thing is you can't leave any white marks showing. You want to completely fill it up. What she's doing here now is she's decided to blend from blue into purple, and that makes for a cool effect as well if you want to blend 2 colors near each other or do even kind of an ombre look. One fun way to be able to get your color to move along faster is to add white. You can lighten it up on this project. A lot of times the lighter colors show up. So if you want to use white to just kind of blend out your colors and add one more layer of oil pastel to your background, that would be fantastic. You can use the white on your tree as well. It's just that you can't do scribble scrabble over the whole thing. You have to do one section at a time. Now that she's finished with that, she's now going to color in her snow. And you might think, well, the paper's white. Why does she have to color her snow? Well, you're going to find that out in a bit, that none of the paper can be left plain. It all has to be covered with oil pastel. Now, this person did a great job, but they left a little bit of space in between their coloring. So they're going to need to go back. This person has a little bit of space in between their coloring, and this person did it just right. Now, the reason we're doing this is because I'm about to do something evil. Eventually, once you're finished, I'm going to be taking some black sloppy paint and I'm going to be putting it over your beautiful drawing that you just spent so much time making. I will destroy it. And then what I'll do is I'll wipe away some of that black paint so that you can still see your Christmas tree, but we now have a layer of black that you are going to be doing sgraffito through. You'll start off by going around the edges. Then you can add details around your star. And then you'll continue on doing one thing at a time. But let's talk a little bit about those Christmas trees. Some kids, they just sit down, they do the horizon line, they do the 2 lines for their trunk, they do their star. Now, a word about stars. Some kids get really uptight about stars. Here I'm doing one that a lot of you know how to do, where you know how to do a 5-pointed star with a pencil. But what I like is if you do it with a pencil, you can trace around it with Sharpie and then erase the center, and it looks a little bit more professional. The other thing is if you know how to draw a zigzag line, you're just going to draw a zigzag line in a circle. The last thing would be is to do what I like is I make a diamond. And then I add something to it, and then I add something to it, and I just make sure that I'm always adding the same thing on both sides. Now, if you look at your idea sheet that will be on the table today, you're going to see a whole bunch of different types of trees. And some of you are just going to knock out the side of that thing, no problem. You're going to do your star, you're going to do your trunk, and you're going to do the sides. But some kids get a little bit uptight about the sides. So if that's you, what you can easily do is when you get to this point and that you have to do the sides of your tree, don't go ahead and make a pencil sketch like this. If you look carefully, you'll see that my pencil line is telling me where to go out and in, out and in, out. So now I can go back out to the top, out and in, out and in, out and in, out and in. You don't even need to erase your pencil lines because you're going to be adding so much color to it, no one will see it. So if that helps you to draw a little cone with your pencil, with those guidelines, here you can see the pencil lines I drew. I just showed them in yellow so you can see it better. You may gladly do that. Here I'm doing another one. I'm doing my star, the trunk of my tree, the base, and now I'm about to take my pencil and draw the two sides. I'm dividing it up in sections. And this time I'm doing one of those line kind of trees where it looks a little bit more like you can see the pine boughs on there. You'll just notice I'm taking each section one at a time, making those jagged edges of the Christmas tree. If that's the type of tree that you like and you want to draw, I'll have guides on there, and where you see the yellow is where I drew in pencil. Last time, I'm going to draw a tree, the base of the tree. I'm drawing a star. And if you draw those two pencil lines and you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't look so bad, then just go over them. Call it done. It's going to look fantastic. What we don't want to do is have to give you a second piece of paper and be sad that it doesn't look good and all critical of yourself. We're not going to do that. It's Christmas tree, and no Christmas tree is perfect. Moving right along. So on the table, you'll see these guides, knowing that the yellow lines are where you would do pencil, and then how to be able to use those pencil lines to help you make your whole tree. Now, this is the exciting time. Now that you have black on your paper, you are going to use the edge of the bamboo skewer to scratch away. You'll start by scratching the sides, and then you will scratch each individual item one at a time, slowly revealing the color beneath it. You'll see that I did the star and even added some accent lines around there. Once you've got those main items done, now you can start to do some other. Oh, here I'm going back and showing you how I did my star. And when you do the tree, I'd like for you to make it almost look like actual little pine needles that are on the tree. We're going to have plenty of time to be able to do that slowly and to make it look really precise. And when we blow your tree up, like make it a little bit bigger, that will really show up. The thing that I'd like for you to be careful about today is the background. You're going to choose one pattern for your background. Not 12, one. Now in what I'm about to show you, I did kind of a checkerboard pattern. Now I would have done it over the whole thing. I could also do a swirl pattern like we see right here. And that would be that I would go on one side and I would do swirl, and then I would go on the other side of my Christmas tree to do my swirls. Now I'm going a little fast here because I sped it up. But you can see that I'm taking my time to do one pattern in the background. Right now I'm laying out the groundwork for figuring out the pattern over the whole background, and now I'm starting to add in the details that I saw on the idea sheet that I wanted to use. So remember, you're going to be scratching out the details of your tree one space at a time, but on your background you're going to have one design. Have fun.